So the final game of the regular season has the final games of the regular season have ended for the Northeast Conference and the NEC today. Yesterday was the Mountain West final game. They didn't officially announce the bracket for the Mountain West until then, so let's talk about the games for the Mountain West first. So we have 11 teams in the Mountain West, and their first matchup is at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific time, as is being played in Las Vegas, Nevada, Thomas Mack Center. So that's at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. We have, and it shows my time, which is Central Time. They always base their times on ESPN, but I go off the I always say local time, try to, or Eastern time. And then we have Nevada taking on Boise State. Nevada is the 8th seed. Boise State is a 9, and the winner will play UNLV as the top 3 seed. As I got a bye to the quarterfinals. Top 5 did, but top 3 got to play a team that plays in the first round. 4 and 5 have to play each other. Then we have that in the first round, quarterfinals and semifinals of the women's tournament will be on the Mountain West Network, the free streaming service that is on like smart TV devices like Apple TV, like Roku's, like Amazon Fire TV, and then it's on. So they have an app for it on like smart TV devices, and like maybe Samsung TV devices, I think they. And then they have it on built in, and then they have like an app for like iPhone, Android, all Android devices, like phones, tablets, and like iPhones, iPads. You can watch it on the computer, on the Mountain West, on the website. They have it on the internet browser. So, and then at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, we have the 10 seed Utah State taking on the 7 seed Air Force, and then the 11 seed San Jose State taking on the 6 seed Fresno State. That is at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. And then the tournament was Sunday through Wednesday here. And we'll also talk about the Horizon League tournament, the Northeast Conference, and the NEC. So those are the 4 conferences. And now we'll go back to the Horizon League tournament, but let's go back to the Mountain West first. We have at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, UNLV plays the 1 seed, the 8-9 matchup, Nevada Boise State. 5:30 Eastern is the 4-5 matchup, Mexico at San Diego State. That's 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. And then we have also the Northeast Semi. I'm going to talk about, but I'm not going to do them yet. And then we have at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, we have Wyoming taking on the 7-10 winner, which is Utah State Air Force. And then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific is Colorado State. They're taking on either San Jose State or they're taking on Fresno State. And then in the semis, that'll be Tuesday night. They will be at 8 Eastern and 10:30 Eastern, respectively, on the Mountain West Network, which is 5 Pacific and 7:30 Pacific, respectively. So, and then the championship of the Mountain West will be on. The Mountain West Championship game will be on CBS Sports Network at 10:30 Eastern, as CBS Sports Network has. And then the first round of the men's tournament will be that same day, earlier in the day, and then the women's tournament final will coincide later in the day at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. And they have the Mountain West women's final, CBS Sports Network does, and then they have the men's like quarters, semis, and finals. I'm pretty sure they have. I don't know if they have all the men's quarters, but depending on what they air. But I know they have at least the semis and final for sure of the men. The women, they just have the final. They might have the semis of the men, or the quarters of the men as well. And then we have this Barbasol Horizon League Championship semifinals. There's at Indianapolis, Indiana, Corteva Coliseum, and Noon Eastern. We have Rob Morris, the 4th seed, that hosted the quarter. All the teams that hosted quarters won in advance. So we have top 4 seeds advancing. Rob Morris 15-15. They finished their season 10-10 in the Horizon. And Green Bay finished is 27-5 now. Rob Morris finished their season actually 14-15, 10-10 in the Horizon. Green Bay finished their season 26-5. They went to 27-5 with the conference tournament because it counts to conference tournament games, your overall record. And then Green Bay in 19-1 in regular season Horizon. That's at noon Eastern ESPN Plus. And then 2:30 Eastern ESPN Plus is the 3 seed Cleveland State. They're 24-8, winning in the semifinal. 14-6 in regular season Horizon League play. Purdue Fort Wayne is 24-7, 18-2 in Horizon League regular season play. So Cleveland State just has one more loss in overall, one more non-conference loss. Then, actually, no. Cleveland State actually has a better non-conference. Cleveland State went 10-2 in non-conference. Purdue Fort Wayne actually had a tougher non-conference for them. They went 6-5. Then Purdue Fort Wayne went 18-2 in the Horizon League. And Cleveland State went 14-6 in the Horizon League. And then that's at 2:30 Eastern. And then the men's semis will be in the evening session. And then the championship will be tomorrow. Will be the 11th at noon Eastern on ESPN 2. And then we have on the 10th we have the America East semis. We have 2 America East semis. We have Bryant taking on Vermont. Bryant is the 3 seed. They're taking on Vermont, the 2 seed, at 6 Eastern on ESPN Plus. And then at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus, Maine, and they're doing probably a staggered search, so people can, if you're a fan of the first team, playing, like Bryant or Vermont, you can actually watch the second game, Maine and New Albany, see who, you know what I mean? But yeah, it worked perfect for the whip around as well. And then you have Maine at U Albany. They're at 6:30 Eastern, and it's the American East Tournament quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals are all at home court sites. We're perfect because we aren't that many games here on Monday. It's starting to get thin to where there's some games, but not a ton of games. Because once you get down to this stage in the season, there's only 20 games, and a lot of them, some of them they're spread out throughout the day, but there is like a little bit of a time right there. And then there's a little bit spaced out in between the games. So we will see a little bit of a break between the whip round, in the whip round a little bit. Then we will have the Patriot League quarters as well. You'll see Saturday afternoon at 2 Eastern and 4 Eastern respectively. Who makes the Patriot League's quarterfinals? Who plays Army and who plays Army and Lehigh? Top 2 seeds. And then we have the NEC quarters on Monday the 10th as well. The NEC normally doesn't play Mondays unless maybe in non-conference because you have to get games when you get games in. That's in all sports. Besides pretty much football, you pretty much play on Saturdays except for maybe certain games and like Thursdays, Fridays for TV purposes, or other days for TV purposes, or maybe the first day of the season. When NFL is on, they play a bunch on Thursdays. But for height, but in like sports like bats, like volleyball, men's and basketball, like soccer, like softball, baseball, like lacrosse, all these sports, you gotta get games when you get games in. They try to, and they, in non-conference, you might play games typically on like certain days of the week, but to get games in, you have to get games in when you get games in, and then they also played on Mondays for like certain holiday days, like like Martin Luther King Jr. Day or President's Day or something, when classes weren't, classes might not be in session due to the holiday. So then they have games that day, or people have the day, and people have people have the day off. People do from work, so what they do. So they had games then, but anyways, we have 4 Northeast quarterfinal games. Let's start with the 1 seed. Fairleigh Dickinson, they're at home to take on Long Island. Long Island's 8 seed. They're 6-23, 3-13 in the NEC. But Fairleigh Dickinson is 16-0 in the NEC. And there are 9 teams in the NEC. But there are 9 teams in the NEC, but Mercyhurst, they are not eligible for the NEC tournament yet. Mercyhurst isn't in the first season. Otherwise, they'd either have a playing game on Saturday, and then the winner would play the 1 seed, or they would just have it to where top 8 only make it, and the 9th team is eliminated. So Fairleigh Dickinson is going to host Long Island. Long Island ended up 3-13, 9th in the NEC, and Fairleigh Dickinson at 26-3, 16-0 in the NEC. And then we have the 2 seed in the conference tournament. Stonehill, they ended 15-14, 11-5 in NEC play. So they had a really tough non-conference, went 4-9. But bounced back well in non-conference, 11-5. And then Stonehill and Wagner, it was Stonehill at Wagner today night. But Stonehill defeats Wagner So if Wagner won, it would have had to travel to the 3 seed. You know, they would have played the 3 seed or the 4 seed. Not sure which, but they wouldn't play Stonehill due to virtue of the tiebreakers. They would at least play Central Connecticut State, the 3 seed. It would at least be the 3 seed in the conference tournament. And then Central Connecticut State gets the 3 seed, 11-18 in overall. They had a tough non-conference, so 1-7, or 1-11. My bad, 1-11. They went 1-11 in. Oh, actually, on 1-12 in non-conference. 1-12. I'm bad again. They went 1-12 in non-conference. Central Connecticut did, but played well, bounced back well in conference, playing with 10-6. So it's from a 1-12 start to 11-18 start. Not too bad though. And then Chicago State had a really tough non-conference. Had some really tough opponents that they played. They scheduled some really tough opponents that they were able to get at home. Chicago State was able to get at home, and that like Mississippi State. But the reason why, maybe they had like tournaments playing in. Yeah, like maybe they were playing tournaments or playing other big teams in the area. So then they were like, well, fine, we'll come here then. On my home, we'll come here then. And that's what they did. And Chicago State was 6-25, 6-10 in NEC play. They went 0-15 in non-conference, but then did better in non-conference. This is the first year in the NEC, and they were a Division II school. Chicago State was. Then they went to Division I, were Division I independent in sports, and then they basically like non-conference, no conference affiliation, and then they went to NEC, so that'll help them out better when they get to the NEC. And now they're starting to improve, so, 6-10 in the NEC, so not too shabby though. And then the 5-4 matchup is Limon is the 5 seed. They're 6-23, 6-10 in the NEC. Again, they're new to Division I level, so St. Francis P is on 18-9-7 in NEC play. So, and then they'll play the semis of the conference tournament, the Northeast semis. They will play them on Thursday the 13th. And then this year, on the 13th, there's even less games than there is on that Monday. Yes, there's 25 games only. There's a few less games, and that's also with 2 Patriot League semis and 2. But I mean, if you take out the Mountain 2 the America East, so it's 26. So I guess there is a few extra games actually if you take out the other conferences, or a few other conferences mixed in. They're added in to add extra games in, so I guess there are more conferences playing to make up that than there is on Monday though. So as on the 13th as well, we'll have two SWAT quarters. CA second round, chicken nut chicken at Flow Sports, Flow College, or Flow Hoops, or Flow Sports, that package. And then MEAC quarters, or 2 MEAC quarters, 2 Metro Athletic Conference quarters, 2 Conference USA quarters. There will be 4 Missouri Valley Conference tournament first round games. And then there's the WAC quarters. 2 WAC quarters. And then there will be 2 Big West quarters. So in the whip round, it's going to be fairly limited, but in the Southland final, it's going to be fairly limited though on the amount of games I can show. However, because it'll be just basically the same games all throughout, the quarters. You'll basically have the exact same games. So, it is what it is, but yeah, and then we'll have the 14th. It should be the, I believe the 14th will be the, America East final. Yes, so that'll be on ESPNU at 5 Eastern. The America East final will be. And then the 16th will be the Northeast final. And that will be on ESPNU at noon Eastern. And then I'm guessing the Patriot League final will be on CS Sports Network at noon Eastern as well. I'm assuming. Because then 2 Eastern is the Coastal Athletic Association Championship final. And then 2 Eastern is the Missouri Valley Conference tournament on ESPN2. So, and then yeah, that's basically it. So, there's only a few days left of the regular season in women's basketball coming up on, and then we have our first day of only conference tournament action. It's Friday the 7th. Normally has a few, but there's the Ivy League isn't doing any special games because their final game is on the 8th. We just have so yeah. And then Saturday will be the final day of conference regular season action. You have regular season mixed in with conference, like the NCAA, MAC, Coastal Athletic Association, the MAC, the Metro-Atlantic Athletic Conference, Conference USA, and then we have the Missouri Valley Conference. So 4 conferences. And then we have the fifth one will be Ivy. And then the 6th one will be the WAC. 7 will be the SWAC. And then we have eight is the Big West. So 8 conferences are ending their tournaments. We also have some updates on some other tournaments. Who's advancing to the tournament rounds. I mean, you probably already know if you watch. We have Florida State, number 14, North Carolina, and number 22, Florida State. Wofford and Greens, that's an ACC core. Wofford, Greensboro, the SoCon semi. McKinney, Richmond, and the Big Ten core. Indiana, USC. And then SEC core. Vanderbilt, South Carolina. ESPNU has Big 12 core. Kansas State, West Virginia. Georgia State, Oregon, Maine, 4th round Sun Belt. And then Furman, Chattanooga in the second SoCon semi-final. And then the ACC quarter, Georgia Tech, NC State, Grand St. Joseph in the second Big Ten quarter, first OVC semi, Southern Indiana, Tennessee Tech, Colorado TCU in the second Big 12 quarter, Oklahoma, Kentucky in the second SC quarter, Michigan, Maryland 15 in the second Big 10 quarter, Marshall App State in the 4th round game. And then we have Australia and Linwood in the second OVC semi. California and Receptor Name in the second AC core. St. Louis and George Mason, the second night 10 quarter, or the third night 10 quarter actually. Then San Diego, the playing winner, first round winner, plays Pacific in the second round. Ole Miss and number 1 Texas in the third SEC quarter. Nebraska and number 42 in the third Big Ten tournament quarter. Iowa State and number 17 Baylor in the third Big 12 quarter. We go with number 11 Duke in the fourth AC quarter. In the fourth 19th quarter, Dean at and Davidson. Florida and number 9 LSU in the fourth Big SEC quarter. Final Big Ten quarter. Iowa and number 13 Ohio State and Texas Tech and number 2 Oklahoma State. And then on Saturday we'll have, I'll mention some more of these tournaments. There won't be as many like winning games when they do like the scores when I do if I do like a scores update on Saturday or do some whip around. There won't be as many as the traditional Saturday 4 games. There's more on this Friday, but just conference tournaments, so it's not very high. No, so yeah, that is it for the conference tournament updates in the world of women's basketball for scores. And then, conference tournament updates, that's just a conference tournament like update for we have the conference tournaments. There's various conference tournaments. And then we have the MEAC. The MEAC has not announced their tournaments yet. The MEAC hasn't. The MEAC. You can find out who plays who in the conference tournament estimation. As you have Norfolk State as the one. Okay, so we have Norfolk State as the one. Howard as the 2 right now. Then we have a 3-way tie between Coppin, Maryland Eastern Shore, and Morgan State. So Coppin split the season series with Maryland Eastern Shore, and then Morgan State, they split the season series with them. And then Maryland Eastern Shore split the season series with Coppin. But did they split the season series with Morgan? No, they beat Morgan twice. Or so. They split the season series with Coppin State and Maryland Eastern Shore. They're 8-6. Oops, I thought Morgan State was 8-6, but they're not. Okay, so Coppin State. So Maryland Eastern Shore, they split the season series with Maryland Eastern Shore. And then Morgan State and North Carolina Central. Let's see who's the 4 and the 5. North Carolina Central and Morgan State. They did split the season series. North Carolina State, or North Carolina Central and Morgan State. North Carolina Central. So they did split the season series. So 1 and 2 is already decided. Norfolk State and Howard. Howard the 3 and the 4 is Coppin State and Maryland Eastern Shore. One of those 2 teams are going to be 3 and 4. And then Morgan State and North Carolina Central is going to be 5 and 6. It's just who's going to play Coppin State, who's going to play Maryland Eastern Shore. And then Delaware State and South Carolina State. If they're 1-13, does that mean they split the season series against each other? Yeah, so South Carolina State. And, yep, they split the season series with each other, South Carolina State and Delaware State did, so it's going to come down to maybe like other tiebreakers. It's going to come with fourth, so it's going to be who's going to play Morgan State, who's going to play. It's going to who's going to play. You know, Coppin State and Maryland Eastern Shore are the 3 and the 4. It's just which team is who's going to the 3-6 matchups. It's seeding is going to determine who's 3, who's 4, and who's 5, who's 6, who plays what, who plays Coppin State, who plays Maryland Eastern Shore. You know, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, that's what's going to be. Technically, for the seeding purposes, I mean, technically, because they have to figure it out, technically, for them. I mean, technically, it doesn't matter who you play, but technically, for seeding purposes, you just have to figure out who's the 3, who's the 4. You know, but. And then Delaware State, South Carolina State. And you might get a little bit easier opponent in Howard that only lost to Norfolk State, but still. Things are not looking good for the bottom 2. So, yeah, we will. That is it for that conference tournament update for the Northeast Conference. The Horizon League. The Horizon League neutral court semis and finals. Then you have the Northeast Conference quarterfinals. The Northeast Conference. Then look at the Northeast Conference. Look at the standings as of now, but as of been time 7. Matchups haven't been announced yet because there's a bunch of tiebreakers for every matchup. For 3-4, there's a tiebreaker scenario. 5-6, there's a tiebreaker scenario. And there's a tiebreaker scenario for 7-8. So 1 and 2 are the only 2 seeds that have been decided outright. And then you got some other teams that are battling out. You know, you got I mentioned the American East semis and Campus 8s. The Horizon League, you mentioned Northeast Conference. You know? So you've got a whole bunch of conferences. The Mountain West. So there's a whole bunch of conferences that end. You know, and there's still some more conferences that are going to end on Saturday, and Saturday afternoon. And for the teams that on Saturday afternoon conferences, then it's Saturday afternoon late conference. Also, 7 of them, but maybe the Big West. Big West, you might know on Sunday who plays when, what times they play. You know, and what day they play on. But like the other conferences that end earlier in the day, like you know, like in the afternoon, late afternoon, like evening time, official should be known, like the conference tournament, like seedings, you know, of the teams that make it to the conference tournament.